Hey folks, Todd here. Today we're going to install the Revolver X4TS on this 2022 Tundra. Now I'm going to cover whether your truck is equipped with a deck rail system or whether it is not. The tools I'll be using for this installation are a ratchet with a small extension, a 1/2-inch socket, a T30 Torx bit, and scissors. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so to start things off, I went ahead and I cleared off the bulkhead seal, cleaned it up with some rubbing alcohol. You want to do that first before you apply the seal. That way you take any contaminants off of the surface of the bulkhead so the seal can stick well. Next, this is the seal we're going to have in our kit that we're going to use. So what we're going to do is just peel back the adhesive protector. We're going to start from one side and work all the way to the other. And what we're going to do is we're going to apply that seal all the way to the furthest back portion of the bulkhead possible. I just go a bit at a time. And when we get to the other side, we're going to cut that in place with a pair of scissors. Okay, next what we're going to do is install our block seal up in the corner. We're going to do this on both sides. Now this truck already has a bed rug in here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to peel that back. As before, I've already gone ahead and wiped down the surface underneath the bed cap with rubbing alcohol. This is our block seal. This surface right here, when I pull away the 3M adhesive protector, you're going to have adhesive on the top. So basically it's going to go all the way up against the bulkhead and then up and stick underneath like so. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this off, get that slid into place. All right, next we can go ahead and do this corner seal. It's going to be a bulb seal. It looks just like that. This surface along the inside of the bed cap, I've also already gone ahead and wiped down with rubbing alcohol. So we're going to go ahead and peel away the adhesive protector and then squeeze this into place. And there we go. Now repeat that process with these two seals on the opposite side. Next, what we need to do is remove our deck rail system from the side of our bed cap. Now, this is only going to be available in above SR trim levels. If you have the SR, you will not have a deck rail system. So what we need to do is we're going to find the 5 T30 Torx bolts that are holding this on and remove those. Now, you want to be really careful when you remove them. I'm just going to use hand tools. If you're going to use an electric impact driver, make sure you're burying in really tightly so you don't strip out that Torx bolt, because you do have to reuse each one of them. All I'm going to do is loosen these up for right now, at least at the front and the back, because I don't want the whole system to fall whenever I take out the last bolt. Make sure you retain all these bolts. Again, this one's just loose for right now. This one's removed. I'm going to remove the next two. All right, once I pull this one all the way out, I'm going to go ahead and move to the rear and pull the other one all the way out. And then we can pull the deck rail system down. Okay, now what we're going to do is find our driver's side rail or our left side rail. From the factory, we'll have a sticker up here that has the letter L on there. That's for left. This is driver's side rail. I've already gone ahead and removed that. And we're going to set it up on top of the bed cap and slide it forward. Now, this pad that's on the aluminum tab at the front is going to run into your deck rail system that is attached to the bulkhead. Now, if your truck does not have a deck rail system, you'll want to make sure this is 1 inch back from your bulkhead. Now, once that's in place, what we're going to do, if you rotate this up, is you're going to notice we've got a channel that's inside here that's extruded out, that's got a slot in there, and your brackets are shaped like this right here, and that is going to match the inside of that extrusion. So what we're going to do is take the bracket I like to start with the top corner, slide that in place, and that slides in like so. We're going to have 5 brackets per side, 1 for each of the T30 Torx bolts we took out when we removed the deck rail, and we're going to line these holes up, these oblong holes, to those locations. Now, if you got a 6.5 foot bed, you're going to have 6 brackets per side. Let's go ahead and slide that forward. All right, now we're going to rotate it down and slide it up to that location. Make sure it's all the way forward. And then we're going to take our factory hardware, and if we need to do a little bit of fine adjustment on those brackets, just kind of wiggling back and forth to line them up to the holes. And we're going to put the factory hardware back in place. I like to get everything lined up before you tighten anything down. All right, now we're going to go ahead and tighten everything down. This is all the way up against the deck rail next to the bulkhead. Tighten that down with a T30. Make sure the rail stays nice and level as you're tightening it down. Again, I want to stress I'm using hand tools. If you use power tools, make sure you bear down very well as you're putting it in, but it's definitely recommended to use hand tools. You don't want to strip these out. All right, next we can go ahead and reattach our deck rail. And in our hardware kit, we're going to have the smaller M6 screws with a T30 Torx head, and they're going to attach. Now, if you have the SR, what you're going to be using is on the very front clamp location, instead of using a strap, the way it's assembled, is you're going to disassemble that strap. You're going to take this portion off as well as the bolt and discard that. However, you're going to retain both washers and the lock washer. Put the M6 bolt through there and go ahead and tighten that down into that location. But we've got the deck rail system, so we're going to reinstall our deck rails. Take that M6, go through the factory location where that was installed. The way I like to do this is get that lined up to this threaded hole and just get it started into the hole. Once it's started in the hole, we're going to go ahead and go back to the rear location, lift that up, go through the hole in the deck rail there, and get that one started. Don't tighten these down just yet, because we want to make sure that everything lines up properly before we tighten it down. And that will bring all of these into alignment, make them easier to start. This is the last one to line up, so I'm going to go ahead and tighten this one down. And just get it nice and snug. Don't need to over tighten these. All right, now because we have the deck rail system, I'm going to go ahead and put our tie-down strap together the way it came from the factory. Now we want to have that separated enough to where this can slide into the deck rail. So we're going to slide that in place, go ahead and tighten down the bolt. I like to get it lined up to that first clamping position because that's just a great place to put it. And then we're going to tighten that down with a 1/2 inch. All right, now we'll repeat the exact process on the opposite side of the bed. Now we're going to go ahead and take the cover out of the box and we're going to lay it on top of the rails. Now the cover is reverse rolled from the factory, so this end right here actually goes over top of the tailgate. So I'm going to move this up and get it laid kind of in place. Rotate this down. We don't want to get it latched in place, but we want it kind of close to where it's going to be. And then as we're rolling this forward, we're also going to be removing our packing material. So I've got this aligned at the back, so now I'm going to start rolling the cover forward. Top portion goes forward. I'll go ahead and remove the rest of the packing material. And move this forward. Now, let's go ahead and focus on this front panel that goes up towards the bulkhead. Okay, now this is our cab panel. This is the front part of the cover. When this folds over, it's going to land on top of here. Now we've got two slots that are in here in the extrusion. We're going to take our hardware from our kit and we're going to slide it into those slots. We're going to do this on both sides, passenger and driver side. And when we get them lined up, what we want to do is line them up to these slots, so as we rotate it down, it drops down into those slotted locations. You also might need to adjust the cover front and back in order for it to land in the right position. Now we're going to go underneath the cover and attach the hardware down below. Okay, here we are underneath the cover. I'm on the driver's side. These are our two bolts that just came down through that aluminum tab. Now what we're going to do is in our hardware kit, we're going to find a black rubber washer and then a silver flat washer. Those are going to go over top those bolts, and then we've got a star knob that we're going to attach. Now that star knob has a nylock nut in it, so what we're going to do is we're going to start hitting some resistance. We're going to twist that up, not to where it locks down, but just to where it's fairly close. We still need to adjust the cover, so we're not going to tighten it down all the way just yet. And do that also on our back bolt, and repeat the same process on the opposite side of the cover as well. Then we can go ahead and adjust the cover. All right, now let's go ahead and roll it back to the tailgate and get adjusted. All right, now as we roll this cover back, you'll notice at the end of each one of these slats, there's a little composite tab on each side. What we want to do is get that in between the rails and make sure it's centered on both sides initially. And then as we roll it back, just kind of watch it, make sure it stays centered. All right, now as we're rotating this back, make sure that our composite tabs are dropping down into the rail, just so that the locking rail, as the paddle gets pushed down, will engage those latches and hold it in place. Also, as it's coming back, we want to make sure the cover is installed forward enough so where the latch rail, when it rotates down, it goes just to the inside of this paddle. That way the latch can latch onto the rail, just like so. You see the latch goes down, goes to the inside of the paddle, and latches in place. Make sure it's centered and does that on both sides. All right, now we can go ahead and tighten down our hardware up at the front. And we're just going to rotate it. We're just going to do this by hand, get it nice and snug. We don't need to over tighten this stuff. And once we got nice and snug down on one side, go ahead and repeat the same on the opposite side. All right, next what we're going to do is install our cab bumpers. That's these four pieces right here with the red backed vinyl tape protector. That's going to be installed on the back side of the cover where it would be contacting the cab if the cover is rolled up loose. If the cover is rolled up nice and tight, it will never actually contact the cab because it will bind before it gets there. But now that I've got the cover loose, I'm going to roll it forward just to see where it would hit. And I'm going to go ahead and attach to the cover. I've already wiped down these two rows of panels on the cover. So now we can just go ahead and attach our bumpers. Go ahead and attach it right inside those grooves. It will fit perfectly in there. So we're going to do two on this side and two on this side over here. And there we go.